Hello, welcome to the dollhouse. I am the doll, and today I am talking about something I observed in popular culture, looking at a video of Madonna performing in December of 2023. She's currently on tour right now, and this is some footage from her tour. I'm going to play it for you. So now I'm going to go through the comment section. The first comment, Queen Forever. The next one, no disrespect, no hate, but it's time to call it quits. Then the next one, wow, imagine doing this in your 60s. I remember my grandma in her 60s, and she was a little old lady. I don't know. I realize she's 65, but what I'm seeing isn't about age. She's walking like it's her first time in heels, or like when someone that's not a dancer is trying to do the moves. I know she was a dancer, so that tells me she may have drugs on board. Not necessarily street drugs, but something isn't right with her. Next comment. That's not entertainment, it's a freak show. The next comment. If you love her, tell her it's time to stop. I decided to do a video on this because as women mature and as modern women especially begin to mature, we are in an age of Meg Thee Stallion. We are in an age of the Cardi B. We are in an age of Sexy Red. As these women mature, their act may mature, but it may not. And when I say mature, I mean become more stodgy and covered up and a little bit more conservative and less sexy. But the truth is that older women also like sex. And as the older women of this day and age become more and more old, if they're very lucky to get old, they will probably still want to dress up and party and twerk the same way that they did when they were younger, just like Madonna. But women aren't allowed to highlight sexuality after a certain point without being criticized. People say things like, well, why don't you grow old gracefully? Well, what if she doesn't want to? I really feel like it is, again, the fact that she's no longer appealing to so many men because of her age. It feels like since she isn't appealing to them, the things that she enjoys that are fun to her, like dancing around and singing in sexy outfits, they're no longer encouraged or allowed. And I take issue with that because we shouldn't do the things that we do for the sake of men and for the sake of their approval, for the sake of what they think is sexy and what they feel like we should be doing when we get older. And if she were at home or just in a concert where it was a big girls' night, no one would say ew or complain that she's too sparkly or dancing too stiffly. Because women, no matter how old they get, they still like to dance and sing and wear sparkly things. So we shouldn't restrict ourselves from doing it just because we've reached an advanced age. And just because men find it repulsive because we're older. Forget what they think is repulsive, because a lot of men will sleep with young child and won't find that repulsive. If nobody is looking, and if they have the rights or the means to do so, a lot of them will sleep with women right on the edge of 18 or lower. So, what they have to say about what's acceptable, for the most part, shouldn't matter to us anymore. Madonna she is mother, okay? She is mother of this modern women reinvention of self concept. She has been very bold about changing her look, recently having some facial surgery. I believe that over the years, she has presented herself in so many different ways that she's not going to stop now just because she's 65. As a matter of fact, she may care even less. People have been really down on her, but they're not down on every woman that gets older in the media. For example, Pamela Anderson has been getting a lot of support for showing up now without makeup. And I believe that the reason why people are comfortable with her toning down her looks is because now she's not competing for the male gaze. She's not looking for male approval through her makeup looks. But I really don't think Madonna is either. At this point, Madonna is buying male approval. She has boy toys. She's following the share route. Madonna bought boy toys and kids, okay? She created her life. She bought a new face. She doesn't care what any of you think. But Pamela Anderson is taking a route that's usually more acceptable to people, which is, I'm not going to wear makeup. I'm not going to call attention to my beauty anymore because I know it's fading. So before you tell me it's fading, I'm just going to let it go down the toilet. I'm not going to highlight any of my facial strengths anymore. Pamela Anderson, she looks beautiful with or without makeup. But with makeup, she actually would look younger and probably even more beautiful. She still looks very youthful. And with makeup, I mean, Pamela Anderson could probably snatch her looks back down to 40. But she doesn't want to do that, and that's fine. She's allowed not to. And she gets a lot of positive support. Whereas someone like Madonna, who indulges in the hair and the makeup and the drag of being a superstar, she is getting a lot of backlash. And I don't think it's fair. I don't think women should have to be expected to shrink down and lose any sense of sexuality just because they reach a certain age, because older people still like to have sex. Nobody tells men, hey, listen, it's about time for you to just leave that Viagra alone. Even though sometimes men should. But again, we don't care what men do at this channel. This channel is about the dolls. So listen, dolls, I would just like to say that as you get older, you might feel ashamed about being sexual or even exposing parts of your body, wearing certain clothes. Do it if it feels good to you. Some people may push back against you presenting yourself in a way that may be too overtly sexual at an older age, and they may do that to people who present themselves overly sexual even at a young age. People who are typically uncomfortable with overtly sexual fashion and overtly sexual themes are uncomfortable whether a person is young or old. And you might decide to tailor how you present yourself to the rest of society, or you could just not care. And you get to a point where you're not trying to win anyone over. You actually might be trying to repel people by being eccentric and outlandish to keep people away from just trying to be around you to access your will, or whatever Madonna might be doing. She's just doing what feels good, and she doesn't really feel the urge to fit in. Older women, as we get older, it is something to consider that other people may feel a need to reject you because if your clothing or style or manners of being are overtly sexual, it could make other people feel uncomfortable. But for the most part, if you just want to have a party the way Madonna is doing, and you want to enjoy yourself, and you want to dress up and be sparkly, show your legs and shake your butt at your party, at your house, or wherever you are, somewhere where you're not asking other people for approval, you should be allowed to do it and then have a good time. Because as we get older, I do not think that this generation and these last few generations are going to follow the fashion rules the way that their mothers and grandmothers may have. The rules about cutting your hair shorter after 40. The rules about wearing muted makeup, never too bold. The rules about shortening your heels and wearing short heels and flat shoes. No one says that you have to go and put on your easy shoes that look like a pump but feel like a sneaker. No, naturalizers, you don't have to do that, but some women will, and that's okay. But I just do not think that it's fair for us to restrict women from still exploring sexual themes just because they're older, and trying to tell them to, put it down and stop doing it. It's really unfair. And to tell Madonna that is really strange because, she's on tour now and people buy her tickets. So they want to see her shake her tail feather across the stage in a sparkly uniform at 65. So why should she stop when she can breeze into town and earn a couple of $1 million by having a good time on stage? Why should she stop? Because you don't want to see her, elderly thighs jiggle? Well, guess what? Somebody does. Somebody in the audience who probably also has elderly thighs who wants to jiggle and party with Madonna. So let people live their lives. Understand that women don't want to be in a grandma box all the time. And just because women get older doesn't mean that they have to stop playing in the hair and makeup and sparkly clothes or even the sexier clothes. She may turn off people, but she may not be trying to turn people on. She may hope to turn people off. So I hope this is helpful and that you understand what I'm saying. But if not, go ahead and leave a comment so I can pin it and then talk trash to you in a reply. Talk to you later.